Hello everybody, my name is Ken, and welcome to my guide on making a perfect SMP, or survival multiplayer.
SMP.
What? In this video, I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on designing a Minecraft server experience that will almost certainly break the 2-week server curse. If you want a long-term world for you and your friends, then you've come to the right place. Just letting you know, this video will not be diving into the process of making a home server or anything to do with port forwarding. There are plenty of good videos elsewhere on that stuff, though I will have some recommendations on what server providers you may want to choose for your server. But without further ado, let's hop right into the video. First off, we're gonna need to talk about something a lot of you idiots are doing. Adding too many bullshit plugins that just make the server slower and overcomplicate things for the players. Now, I'm not saying to add no plugins at all. You can mess around with fun stuff like a seasons plugin or maybe something that adds more enchantments, but adding too much of that kind of stuff not only makes the game less stable and more likely to crash or corrupt, but it also upsets the balancing of the game. For example, adding an enchantments plugin with sharpness, 10, will make most of the game completely trivial and boring. And if it's longevity that you're after, then making the game boring for your players is the last thing you want to be doing. A good way to keep players engaged is to host or set up an event or two every week. Like a building competition or maybe an arena tournament. Fun things for players to plan for and remember fondly once they're over. Stuff like this is what makes players want to keep coming back and playing on your server. And it creates a sense of community, especially if you're playing with people, you only know online. If you look around on the plugin websites, Spigots and Bucket and all that, you should be able to find some that can help you plan and schedule these to make your life easier. Or you could just post them in your Discord server or whatever. Obviously, having an event where someone can win means that they probably have to win something. And some server owners are gonna jump up and go give the winners a stack of fucking diamonds or something. Do not do this. Don't do it. If you have a reward for a player doing something, it shouldn't be too valuable or game breaking. A better option would be some kind of personalized item that has a weird specific use or something. A nice piece of diamond armor maybe, but not a whole set. No one needs that from one thing. I mean, just don't do it. Players tend to be very, stupid, and will see any unreasonably valuable reward as unfair. And trust me when I say, you don't want anything to ever come across as unfair. That is a surefire way to get players pissed at you. Like, DMs on Discord at 3 AM type pissed. As a server owner, you need to come across as impartial and open to criticism. Ah, shit. Sorry, this has been happening lately. Just give me a sec. Come on, fucking piece of shit. As a server owner, you need to remain impartial and open to criticism. Don't take anything too personally. This is a trap that I've fallen into myself many times. Next, we need to talk about expectations and reality. You may see some of these uber popular servers like SMP Live or, God forbid, the Dream SMP, and want to try and recreate that kind of thing yourself. Well, you can't. You can't do it. You just can't. Simple as that. First off, you won't have that many players. Even if you ask 30 people, and 30 people log in on opening day, wow. 30 people will not be logging in the next day. I guarantee you that. And if you try to force your, optimistically 10 players to roleplay some bullshit like, oh, I just killed you and now you only have 2 lives left. And when you get down to 0 lives, you can't play on the server anymore. Yeah, no, don't fucking do that, please. Unless literally, all of your players are on board for that, then eventually you're just gonna end up killing the server with your bullshit. On that same note, don't force too many rules. Players running amok and fucking around can be fun to an extent. Obviously, major griefing is just gonna cause a bunch of drama, but allowing minor pranks and a little bit of stealing here and there is perfectly fine in my opinion. You just don't want to do anything too extreme, and don't be overbearing. Basically, a lot of this boils down to this idea. You're the server host, not the server dictator, and posting too many of your own high-concept gameplay ideas will just confuse people. Alright, now let's talk about server... God fucking damn it. I gotta get that fucking fixer in here. Alright, here we go. What? Oh, fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we sit here today to discuss a new invention from Convention Industries, the SMP, or Scientifically Made Person. Let's take a moment to have a look inside its thoughts and desires. These have been programmed by our team to accurately reflect the modern sapient's behavioral patterns.
Yo, man. Yo. Oh. Hey there, can I get a fuck you pizza with a side of suck my cock? What? Oh, fuck. Dude, he hung up. What a pussy.
That is just a taste of the brain functions. Can we get another demo, please? We can. That's all we have. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, they're not all like that.
If you truly want to make a perfect server, this leads us into our next topic, which could
Also be achieved through some server plugins.
plugins.
Server events.
A good way to keep players subservient is to host or set up an event every few weeks of a year. Like a killing competition. Sorry if my voice upsets you. Perfect model developed by Square, Frost, and Perfects. Please contact my developer if you have any issues or concern.
And you'll never believe it for this part. So when listen. So when I tell him I have a perfect 4.0 GPA, and he says to me, he looks me right in my two bright blue eyes, and he says, "You'll never be a lawyer, kid." And then he walks out of the room.
Oh my god, that's... And you know, I've been having so much trouble reconciling the fact that so much drama between my closest friends has happened over a fucking Minecraft server. I mean, every time I make one, something happens. Sometimes it isn't serious. Sometimes it is unreasonably serious. And here's the thing. Every time I make one, I try to make it perfect. I'm an incredible case study of a perfectionist. I mean, I could be studying, but yeah, I spend so long, weeks, making every little detail just right. All of the configurations suited to run on even the shittiest of laptops, because I just want to be considerate. But the irony is, almost every time, my actions, inadvertently or directly, will be the catalyst or cause of the drama. Not intentionally. I mean, I have the fucked up brain worm that wants the server to last as long as possible. I want it to last forever, you know. But it seems the servers I make that have the most effort, the most potential, burn out the quickest. And recently I realized something that I would have considered obvious if you told it to me. I suppose we can all be ignorant to our own flaws in some way, even if we think we aren't. I realized that...
Sorry, what was the question you asked? Is this a perfect human replica? Perfect. Well, I'm not sure if it's perfect. That's an interesting question, sir.
Okay, now we should probably talk about, best server settings, the render distance, and all that. So, look, to be honest, the idea of this being there are hundreds of different options you could have for something like this, and I don't know how one specifically I'm supposed to tell you, to be honest. I think this was kind of a stupid video idea in the first place, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. So, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, obviously it's perfect, obviously, it is, of course.
perfect thing, a perfect SMP, means a different thing to every person who tries to envision it. Which shouldn't make sense given the meaning of the word perfect, but if you asked one person what their idea of perfect would be, it would almost certainly be very different from my idea. Which led me to this conclusion. What is the point of perfect? Why do I need to make this perfect Minecraft server for me and my friends, when maybe we've already had it? Some of my most memorable experiences have been on a shitty 2-week Minecraft server that I set up in 30 minutes, and there were no expectations for it. I just said, hey, let's play it, and it lasts longer than 2 weeks, maybe it lasts a month. And it becomes this thing in my brain that I want to recreate, but this endless pursuit for something that just can't exist, or can't exist in the same form that it was, it just drains you mentally, and just in terms of how you treat the people around you, it gets to a point where it just kind of, so when somebody asks me, how do I make the perfect SMP? Well, I say, how do you make the perfect anything? How would I even make that a perfect server? I don't even think I could make that. Could I? You probably can't, and that's perfectly fine. And then after that, I tell them to like and subscribe for more content like this. Watch something else, or give me a comment. What? Give me a comment. Comment down below what you thought of the video. If you hated it, then please tell me so that I can think of a funny comment to reply to you with when I'm at work. Thank you. Goodbye.